Shalom to the bride of the Messiah. Shalom to the 144,000. And shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. Good evening. And this video will be dealing with the third new moon report. And the subtitle of the video is the month of the Sabbath. Okay, the month of the Sabbath. Before we begin, let me show this. So there won't be any violation or any copyright laws. Okay. And let us go to the title page. As I said in the beginning, it's the third new moon report. And this third new moon is known as the month of the covenant. Please check the video description box for you to have access to the Most High calendar. It is free unto you. Also, check out the other information that is listed. But most importantly, listen to Yahuwah's prophetic message. For he is speaking in these last days, and he has given instructions unto the Israelites and unto the Gentiles. Please check the video description box and the pinned comment section for that. Also, too, click on the letter I in this video to have access to other important messages so we can get an understanding about the gatherings that will be taking place. My mind went blank, y'all. But in the letter I, there'll be a playlist that deals with the rapture doctrine, the eagle wings. It has 3 parts. For the third part, contain the Northern Kingdom sacred books. Okay. It also deals with the saints becoming white, and it's another one, the 144,000. Please click on the letter I to the right of this video to have access to those videos so you can understand the mystery that pertains to the eagle wings, to the gathering, to the saints becoming white, and to the 144,000. Okay, now let us begin. Forgive me, my brothers and sisters. I know it's kind of late this evening, but I kind of wanted to wait and see what was the end results for everyone with the new moon sighting for the third month. For those who are new, when you click on the Google link for the calendar, this will first pop up. It will give you other links to other things that I'm keeping record of. Now, some of those things I'm still working on, and I ask you to forgive me, but it's to give you an idea about what time and season we're in and how it relates to biblical prophecy. Okay, now let us scroll down. We're going to close out the second month first. So the second month, which is known as the month of the Sabbath, it had a total of 30 days for the moon. Far as the days of the sun for its third month, it had a total of 32 days. And when we reviewed the third month of the moon, I will show you how I was able to get 32 days for the days of the sun. Okay. As far as the sightings for Brother Yahushua and Brother Israel, right now they have no sighting in Israel, but Brother Yahushua has sighted the moon today. So his total days of the moon will be 29 days. For the Most High calendar, we will have a total of 30 days. Okay. And right now, Israel has no report of their sightings yet. Okay. Now we're going to the third moon report. So looking at the third month, if I'm looking at it right, am I looking at it right? Yes, I am. Let me go a little higher. So we're in the third month of the Most High calendar, and the Most High year will overlap into the heathen year, which is the year 2020 to 2021. Now, for the 12-month fathers, these are the ones who do not believe in the 13th moon or 13th month. Therefore, they would be in their 5th month. And I started keeping record of them. I think it started in the year of 2015 to 2016. So you know who you are. And to make this short, as you see by keeping a record, you will see what happened to those who do not add a 13th month, because this is more heavenly common sense. The moon circuit has fewer days than the sun circuit. Therefore, every year or every new year that comes in, the moon will start earlier and earlier than the sun. So therefore, the Most High caused the heavens to produce an extra moon to keep the moon in the seasons. Okay, and that's a video on the channels. I'm sorry, there are videos on the channels that will give you proof of what I'm sharing with you, which is listed in this column here, proof of the 13th month. You can watch that in your spare time. Okay. Now for the third month that we're going to talk about the week, because we know Shavuot is coming up. It is one of the three solemn feasts unto Yah. And in that feast, we are to bring a new meat offering, and that meat offering I'm talking about is dealing with a grain, bringing forth your meat offering that is made from wheat, and that's dealing with the bread. Now, when you study the Most High calendar, it will teach you about how agriculture going hand with the Most High calendar. It will also teach you the relationship between the earth and the heavens. So just as the heavens manifested signs unto us to let us know, what month we are in or what season we are in, so the same will be done in the earth. The earth will manifest certain signs unto us to let us know of the seasons or the time that we are in. So this playlist deals with, this is titled, Where's Your Wheat? Okay. You definitely want to watch that in your spare time, because when we talk about Shavuot and when we're supposed to keep Shavuot, then you will understand why it's kept in the fourth month and not in the third month. And the book of Jubilees will give you the confirmation on what I'm telling you, as well as many other things. So check that playlist out in your spare time. So the fourth month, not fourth month, the third month, y'all. All right, the third month is known as, we're going to look at here in the highlighted yellow area. It is known as the covenant given to the nation of Israel. And it was given on the 18th day in the third month. Okay. And let's see here. What else I have going on here? Also, there's another video you can watch to understand why is Shavuot a twofold feast or a twofold festival. Okay, because when you read Jubilees, it will reveal something else that taken place, something that was anew or something that was added. All right. Now for the new moon sighting. The new moon was sighted first in the west areas right now, and in other countries besides Israel. Israel did not see the new moon on May the 23rd at sundown, and the 23rd fell on Saturday at sundown on the heathen's calendar, Satan's calendar. Okay. Also, you want to pause your screen, because I list scriptures you can read that pertains to the third month as well. Okay. Now, on the new moon day, we do have a biblical event that occurred on this day, and it is dealing with the covenant that the Most High Yah made with Noah. Okay, I call it the Rainbow Covenant, but this biblical event fell on the first day of the third month. You want to check out Jubilees chapter 6 verse 19 on that. Okay. Far as the day of the sun, it is the sun's third month and fourth day. Far as the heathen's day, it is the 23rd to the 24th from sundown to sundown in the month of May. And this is the Most High new moon day, or the first day of the moon. Take this time now to browse your screen. Now we're going to the second week of the Most High calendar. Now when we deal with the week of the Most High, we do not have pagan names. We have like day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. Until we get to the seventh day, then we have what we call Shabbat, or the Sabbath day, which is the day of rest unto the Most High Yah. Now, in the second week of the moon, like I said, we are now in, let's see here. Yeah, we are now in day 2 of the moon now, because now it's after sundown. On this day, Brother Yahushua has sighted the moon on the second day, but for him, he would count this day as day 1 unto himself. As for Israel, as I said before, they have not sighted it yet. And on this day is the sun's 3rd month and 5th day. And this is the second day of the moon. Which brings us to this. We'll show you some photos. So when you go to renewmoon.com, you will see a listings of different areas that saw the new moon, from such as like Mexico, Arizona, Hawaii, etc. And as you see right now, there has been no sightings yet in Israel. This is Truth Table Ministry. You can barely see over here, but it's right over here. They also sighted the new moon on the 23rd day of May. Okay. Biblical Calendar Foreman. Sorry if I mispronounced the word. A.V. Bali and New Moon Reports from Israel. Right now, they have no sighting report. As far as Brother Yahushua, who goes under the congregation known as Tabernacle Congregation of Prayer, he just sighted it today on May the 24th at 7:59 p.m. in Israel Daylight Saving Time. I'll bring this up so you can see it. Let me get rid of this so you can see that, and take this time to pause your screen. Okay. Now that we have this out the way, I'm going to close this out. Now, looking at the first week of the moon, we have the moon decreasing, not decreasing, but increasing in light, which is about 50%. This should happen on the 7th day of the moon, which falls on the sun's 3rd month and 10th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on May the 29th to May 30 from sundown to sundown. Which brings me to this. On day 8 of the moon, we have the counting to Pentecost. According to Leviticus chapter 23, we are to count 7 complete Sabbaths and 50 days. Remember, and it's a conjunction, okay? And when we follow that formula, you will fall in the correct month when your wheat is right in order to make a new meat offering. It is also the same month where your grapes are right to make the new wine. Okay. Now, according to the Jewish people who are yet had, they are converts, they would keep Pentecost on May the 31st. Okay, and for that day, it will fall from May the 30th at sundown to May 31st at sundown. This day fall on the sun's 3rd month and the 11th day. On the heathen's day, it will be May the 30th to May the 31st from sundown to sundown. Now, for those who just count out straight 50 from the first Sabbath, that was in Aviv, which is Aviv 15, okay, you will probably fall on the 5th day of the moon for that, for those who want to keep the 50 count. But right now, we are following what Leviticus 23 saying to us. You're supposed to count 7 complete Sabbaths and 50 days. And the 7th Sabbath falls on the 8th day of the moon in this 3rd month. Okay. Notice how early they are keeping Shavuot. They're still in spring, and it don't even come close to the day when Moses received the covenant, or the day when Moses received the covenant from the Most High Yah, which is the 18th day of the moon. Okay. So when we look at the second week of the moon, we are starting to count for 50 days. It starts on the 9th day of the moon. That's the first day of the 50 days. It falls on the sun's 3rd month and 12th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on May the 31st to June the 1st from sundown to sundown. Now take this time to pause your screen. Now, as far as when Brother Yahushua we keep Pentecost, it'll fall on for him either day 12 of the moon or day 13 of the moon, because sometimes he do his count a little bit different from everybody, y'all. But he starts his count from Aviv the 22nd. That is the 2nd Sabbath, or the 2nd Holy Convocation Day. So that's where he starts his count. Okay. And take this time down to pause your screen to see his dates. And take notice, all their keeping of Shavuot occurs way before the Israelites get to Mount Sinai. Take a look at that big difference. Okay? Which brings us to day 14 of the moon. It is the 6-day count of the 50 to Pentecost. This day is when the moon is full. It's illuminating 100%. And it falls on the sun's 3rd month and 17th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on June the 5th to June the 6th from sundown to sundown. Now we get into the nitty-gritty, some biblical events, which is the 15th day of the moon. This is the 7-day count of the 50. This is the day when the Israelites entered into Mount Sinai, or the wilderness of Sinai, which can be found in Exodus chapter 19, verse 1. This is also the day known as day 1 of the sanctification, and the day that Jethro came unto them. This fall on this year of the sun in its 3rd month and 18th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on June the 6th to June the 7th from sundown to sundown. Take this time now to pause the screen and just meditate. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? How Shavuot is kept really early, okay? And they have no wheat, and that's what the playlist is all about. Where's your wheat? Because you know the earth and the heavens go hand in hand together, and they manifest certain signs together to confirm of the times we are in for the Most High Holy Days. So where's your wheat, Israelites? Okay. Also, where's your new wine? Because you know grapes are only right in summertime, not springtime, but summertime. Same thing. My dad used to farm, and he would tell me wheat is only right in summertime. Okay. Now let's go to the 3rd week of the moon. In the 3rd week of the moon, we have another biblical event. We have several biblical events going on here. So on day 16 of the moon, which is the 8-day count of the 50, we have day 2 of the sanctification, and the 2nd day that Jethro are with the Israelites. This falls on the sun's 3rd month and 19th day. On the heathen's day, it falls on June the 7th to June the 8th from sundown to sundown. Now for the 17th day of the moon, which is the 9th day count of the 50, we have the Most High coming unto the Israelites. This is day 3. You know, he comes in a cloud, as written in Exodus chapter 19, verse 16. Take this time now to pause your screen. And I'm going to bring this up because I'm not going to go over every single day. But I want to give y'all the biblical events so you can go back and study about this month and understand why this month is known as the month of the covenant. Just like Aviv is known as the month of Exodus. Then the 2nd month, Ziph, is known as the month of the Sabbath. Now we're having the 3rd month known as the month of the covenant. Now day 18 of the moon, you see I highlight in red, which means some important things happen here. On this day is known as the 10th day count of the 50. It is day 4, which is night. The people are informed by Moses what the Most High Yah said. Okay, during the daylight of this day, Moses make an altar. Okay, in his 12 pillars that he built, and this is the same day when Moses entered Mount Sinai after the morning activities. He going to Mount Sinai. This is day 1 of the 40 daylights and 40 night count. Okay, remember he entered into Mount Sinai after the morning activities. This is during the daylight phase, and this count as day 1. Do you see how the Most High works? It's not in the 24-hour period. It just counts as day 1. This is also the day 1 of him entering into the cloud, where it's written in Exodus chapter 24. Okay, this is the day also when the covenant is established with the Israelites. This is when they go into covenant with the Most High Yah. Okay, take this time now to pause the screen for those biblical events. Now we're going to look at day 19 of the moon, which is the 11-day count of the 50. This is the day when you have the first night now. Okay, the first night where Moses is still on Mount Sinai. This is the 2nd daylight of the 40 days, of the 40 daylights and the 40 nights. Okay, And this is day 2 of Moses still being in the cloud. Notice how the Most High kept Moses in this cloud. When we get to the end, you'll notice that he stayed in this cloud for 7 days. It represents something, y'all. I'm telling you, Father's always speaking some spiritual messages here. But let us keep going. So on day 20 of the moon, this is the 12th day count of the 50. This is Moses' second night on Mount Sinai. And this is his third daylight, okay, of the 40 daylights and 40 nights. And this is day 3 of Moses still being in a cloud. Now on day 21 of the moon, this is the 13th day of the 50 count. Here we have the moon decreasing in light, which is about 50%. And this is Moses' third night on Mount Sinai and the 4th daylight of the 40 daylights and 40 nights. And this is Moses' 4th day of him being in the cloud. On day 22 of the moon, it is the 14th day of the 50 count. This is the 4th night and the 5th daylight of the 40 daylights and 40 nights of Moses being on Mount Sinai. And notice I put 40.5, which really it was 41 days, because, and the reason it's like that, when you go back to this day, day 18, that's because Moses entered into Mount Sinai in a daylight phase. He didn't start at sundown or in evening. He started on the daylight phase. Therefore, the night phase would carry on into the next day. So it'll still be 40 daylights and 40 nights. But when you look on a calendar and compare it to calendar whole days, you get 41. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the 4th week of the moon. In the 4th week on the moon, on the 23rd day of the moon, this is the 50th day count of the 50. This is Moses' 5th night and his 6th daylight day of him being on Mount Sinai. And this is day 6 of him being in a cloud. Now notice what's going to take place on the 24th day of the moon. This is the 16th day count of the 50. We have Moses being on Mount Sinai as this is his 6th night and his 7th daylight of the 40 daylights and 40 nights. And on the 7th day, okay, of him being in a cloud, Yahuwah called Moses out of the midst of the cloud, as written in Exodus chapter 24, verse 16. Now pay close attention to that number, because we're going to do some math here later on, because you're going to see the significance of the Most High doing that. Now on day 25 of the moon, it's the 17th day count of the 50. This is Moses' 7th night and 8th daylight day of him being on Mount Sinai. On day 26 of the moon is Moses' 8th night and 9th day of daylight of being on Mount Sinai. On day 27 of the moon, which is the 19th day count of the 50, this is Moses' 9th night and 10th daylight day on Mount Sinai. So we get to day 28 of the moon, which is the 20th day count of the 50. The moon is decreasing in light, known as the last waning crescent. This is the last phase we can see of the moon in the heavens, and it's usually shown in the morning up to the afternoon. Okay, it's a little sliver in the sky. And on this day is Moses' 10th night and 11th daylight of the 40 daylights and 40 nights on Mount Sinai. So when we get to day 29 of the moon, we have a dark moon. There's no light upon her. And as the prophet Enoch says, this is a sign unto us in the heavens to let us know we are approaching the end of the month. This is the 21st day count of the 50. This is Moses' 11th night and 12th daylight of Moses being on Mount Sinai for 40 daylights and 40 nights. Also for this year, we have the sun into the 4th sign of Mazzaroth. Okay, the 4th sign of Mazzaroth is, I believe it's what the Gentile call Cancer. Yeah, they call it Cancer. When the sun does that, this is when you have daylight being longer than night. And what happens is daylight is 12 parts and night is 6 parts. And what that basically means that on this day, daylight would be about 14 hours and night would be about 10 hours. Now, because the earth has shifted or is out of order now with the heavens a little bit, you may have a slight variation. You may have a little bit more longer time, with the 14 hours, and then it being a little bit less than 10 hours. Okay, but it'd be close to it. Now, on this day, when the sun entered the fourth sign of Mazzaroth, as I was saying, this marks the last day of spring. So when we see where the moon starts again, the day falling after the 29th day of the moon, the day falling after this day will be the first day of summer. Okay, you got to read the prophet Enoch's writing to understand how the sun began and end this month. So in this month of the third month of the Most High calendar, on the 29th day, this is the last day of spring, and it falls on the sun's third month and 32nd day. Okay, now I know the number might be slightly different, but when you start keeping record, you will notice there was some slight changes taking place. However, at the end of the year, you would get about 365 in a quarter, or you would get 366 in the fourth year. Not according to what the Gentiles say, because they don't follow the circle of the heaven. But when you follow these circuits of the heaven for yourself, you will see when that fourth year will come, because it is a law in heaven that states that in the fourth year of the sun, we will add the 0.25 in the fourth year, making it 366. Okay? You want to take this time now to pause your screen. Okay? So as we went through the calendar, you'll see now, or you may have some understanding of why we don't have Shavuot in the third month. There was a change taking place when Moses entered into Mount Sinai. Okay, look at those videos and read those books. And if you don't understand still, just seek Yah, and He will give you understanding of all things. Okay, there's a typo here. I meant to put down when the sun enters to the fourth sign of Mazzaroth. In Israel time, it will occur on June the 20th in the year 2020 AD at 5:43 p.m. in Israel Daylight Saving Times. In America, on the East Coast, it will occur on June the 21st in the year of 2020 AD at 12:43 a.m. in Eastern Daylight Saving Times. Okay. Now, when I was talking about the significance of Moses being in the midst of the cloud for 7 days, what it represents. When you take let me read this word for word. 40.5 days equals 40 daylights and 40 nights. Moses went into Mount Sinai after the morning activities on day 18 of the third month. In the third month, on day 24th, note, after the seventh day, there are 33.5 days left of the 40.5 days. So if we take 40.5 days, subtract 7 from it, we will get what? 33.5 or 33.5. Now we're going to see how this number is significant and what it relates to. Yahushua HaMashyach was at the age of 33.5 when he was crucified on Aviv 14, 32 AD on the Passover known as Pesach, which is the first day of the Feast of Leavened Bread. Okay. Also, two witnesses of Revelation chapter 11 shall prophesy for what? 3.5 years. And their dead bodies will be in the street for 3.5 days, which is really like 4 days. But within that fourth day, we know what's going to happen. It says that then shall they be resurrected and ascended into the heaven in a cloud. So Yahuwah is always speaking to us with numbers. For example, in a V10, we are to get a lamb. That is to represent the time that the Messiah would be with us when he preached the gospel. Because on day 10 to day 14, the lamb is a sacrifice. That's a total of 4 days, okay? Which is about, when you look at it, it's, let's see, yeah, about 4 days. We represent the 4 years when he preached the gospel, okay? He preached the gospel within 4 years, which was really 3.5 years when he did it. He started in the fall and he ended in the spring. So that's why you got 3.5, okay? In another video, when this month finishes, we'll close out and go over all the numbers that we had just talked about. Okay, let's see here if there's anything else I need to discuss with you. But for those who are new and still learning the calendar, yes, this does take time, and these teachings comes under the Spirit. The Spirit Yah will teach you all things. However, if you have some questions, you can reach me at following the Messiah at 378@gmail.com right here. I hope you enjoyed this third new report. I do apologize. It is late, but I wanted to see what would be the outcome or the results from the other sightings of the third moon. All right. Continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For it's true at hand, y'all. It is really at hand. And if those will understand what it means to inherit the kingdom of heaven, the greatest mystery. Make sure the people receive salvation as read in Romans chapter 10. Make sure the people understand about forgiveness, that we must forgive one another. The Father frowns upon those who do not forgive. The Father also judged those based on their heart, their faith, and their works. Please make it right with y'all now, while you have time. We see judgment is coming upon the earth. We see him visiting the earth. And we see that time is short now. Please make it right with him. Make sure the people receive the baptism of the water and of the Spirit. Follow the example of what the Lamb said of those baptisms. And also look at the example of the apostles. For they continued them both, the water and the Spirit baptism. And make sure y'all know how to love one another. Make sure you love Yah. Give Yah everything you got. And get your house in order. For the Messiah is coming back. Shalom.